All right, man. Fuck this podcast. All right, here we go. Ready?
Ready. Let me see. Look up.
This book is in there. That makes sure I keep them.
Am I good? It's been dry lately.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. I think you good.
You got real wide-eyed there for a second.
I don't need you to do it. It's just for me, man. It's just so I can get an audio clap to line up with the audio in the video. You do it. Just do it, man.
Welcome back.
Well, welcome to another episode
of Deaf and Dope.
No, that ain't how it goes, is it?
Yes.
Well,
I'm
welcome
Jillian.
to another episode.
You fucking it up.
I'm
Why are you
Jillian,
saying it again?
and I'm Corey, and this is Deaf and Dope.
You just
That's
said-
how you say it.
No, you said.
That's how I'm going over it.
No, you said I'm Jillian and I'm Corey. Like you said both of them.
That's how I'm supposed to go. Are you ready? You're not ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Well, welcome to another episode
Of Deaf and Dope. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Corey. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm. Welcome
We
back.
got a new setup going right now. I kind of like it. So I've been doing some crazy studio upgrades. She actually helped me in here a little bit when I was doing some rewiring, but I did a bunch of studio upgrades, and because of that, we used to face this way. So we used to face each other this way. Corey would be on this side, Jillian would be on this side, and we would shoot the cameras kind of angled at our face, and it would look mad cool.
Yeah.
We had the double shot. But I'm suffering from chronic laziness. And then
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I don't feel like editing them 2 shots back and forth. It was funny.
Okay. Yeah, it was good. But you're right with how things are set up in here now. And this is
not
an
gonna
easier
work.
setup.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. The laziness combined with the new setup, because the lighting kit used to go to my right in this corner, and it's not gonna fit back there.
Yeah.
So we gotta just do this.
He decided to get a 55-inch screen TV, use it as a monitor. He's got his mixing station. Or no, I'm sorry, no. The mixing station is his main thing that's right in front of us. But then he's got his beat making station over here where he's got his keyboard / drum pad, right? What do you call that? What do you call that?
It's a MIDI keyboard.
Okay.
That's all. It's just a MIDI keyboard.
Well, I don't know. And then he's got his rack unit over here. I know what that's called. It's all full now.
Man, anyway. So we are back to doing I guess more of a full body shot. Like you can see more of my upper body now.
Shoulder meats.
All the shoulder meats.
We got big shoulder meats in this household.
Yeah, to get both of our shoulders in any of these shots, you'll notice I take up about half, she take up about half, but we wide backed it, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Even Kata's got some shoulder meats on her.
What the fucking dog got to do?
I don't know. I'm just
talking
saying.
about right
She's
now?
in this house too.
What does the dog have to do with shoulders? I'm about to quit. I'm about to quit this podcast. This will be my last episode. I'm not doing this no more with your commentary. It's whack. I can't take it. This is the breakup episode. Anyway.
I will slap the back of your neck on camera.
I'm sure you will. I am sure you will. Anyway, what do we got here? We got to get into some topics.
Yeah. So the first one we wanted to get into, and really the main topic of discussion today.
Wait. Before we get into topics,
Yeah.
wait. We got to tell people what we've been up to, what we've been doing.
Okay. And the reason why we've been absent.
No. This is not an explanation. We can do this whenever we want to because we grown.
Yeah.
We ain't got to explain nobody nothing.
That's true.
There's no reason for the absence. We just didn't do it. We was
both
lazy.
in our 30s now.
The reason why you didn't get episodes is because we were lazy and busy.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what we've been up to.
Yeah.
So what you been up to?
Well, I recently transitioned into a different job. So my day job anyways, which is really cool because I'm now working in an industrial athletic training setting, which I'm not going to say the company I work for because I like to keep that private.
Never say it.
But it's been interesting. I've learned a lot. I work in warehouses, like construction sites and stuff like that. So it's been really eye-opening. I've met a lot of different people, and it's been crazy. It's been different. And one of the biggest factors that made me decide to do this, I got a significant pay increase, which was really nice and we needed. Because eventually, although we love the house that we're living in now or the condo we're living in now, we're trying to build, just like anybody. And also I now have weekends off. I only work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, which as an athletic trainer, that's really not that common, especially in traditional settings, like in high schools or professional sports or collegiate sports or club, that sort of stuff, right? And now I only work between 30 to 35 hours a week. So I have a lot of time to spend on other stuff, which gave me the inspiration to get into Fit Thunder Cakes and relaunching and doing a whole new thing and cooking and baking.
I still don't know why you didn't call it Fit Thunder Bakes.
Well, that's a hashtag that I use. Fit Thunder Bakes
should have been
Fit Thunder Cakes, but I'm baking cakes, and I got cakes. You see these thighs and these legs? You see them every day. In this butt?
Yo, bro.
Shout out to Chad.
You cannot talk about your booty and then shout out my brother. Like, that's some wild shit. Like, you can't do that. That's not going to happen. Like,
it's an inside joke.
Because I got that booty. Shout out to Chad. Like, what?
Well, here's the thing. Whenever we talk about booty or butt, whatever, cheeks, ass cheeks, because Chad likes booty. Now, there's one thing I know about Chad, is that he likes butt. Big old, fat booty. He never stops talking about it. It's my good side. Take a pic.
Yo, I hope Chad...
Not specifically mine, of course
Chad
not. But...
watch this, and I hope the next time he see you, he slap you all across the back of your head.
No, he won't. He won't.
Anyway, so you doing the Fit Thunder Cakes. You doing like all this nutritional stuff, which is really cool. And you finding ways to bake, but bake healthy. And you also cook normal food, but you also do it in a healthy, whole food kind of way.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is like, because I have a lot of friends that are either... have celiac or gluten-free or they're vegan or vegetarian or they eat more paleo and that's the kind of stuff they're looking for. And I was like, there's so many recipes out there on Pinterest and on Google and, all these other search sites that it's like, why don't I just start trying all this stuff? And A, give credit to the people that I'm getting these recipes from, and B, see what they're all about and see what's good and what's not good so I can share it with other people. And that's all I'm trying to do because, like, I'm looking for ways to keep balance in my life with my food and my health and wellness and nutrition.
Right.
And this is the way that I'm doing it. I can make those paleo magic cookie bars that we love so much. Fire. And I also know that they're coming from natural ingredients, which is great, because you can enjoy something sweet, but you're also not putting a lot of processed crap into your body. So
that's dope.
Cool. Yeah,
I think that's dope. So that was the long-winded version of what you've been up to.
So what you been doing?
I ain't doing nothing. I mean, I revamped the studio, but you can't see it. None of you can see it. If you go to my Instagram, KOOL_NERD, you can see, if you go to my saved highlights, you can see in the studio rebuild that I did a bunch of stuff. I've been tracking everything I've been doing since I moved here. So you can actually go watch that highlight and kind of see the development of the studio. It was just in a place where it was kind of sloppy. And there's things I still don't like about it, but it's always going to be that way. It's never going to be perfect. But I love 98% of it.
Yeah.
For real. So
it looks really good in here.
Yeah, it's cool. But basically, simply put, she was trying to explain it, but Doing a whack job. Basically, what I did was I have a table that sits directly over here, and because of the distance between my computer and that table, I couldn't really make beats efficiently. So I was like, man, if I put a TV over here with the program displayed on it, then I don't have to keep sliding back and forth when I need to switch instruments or adjust audio level. I can do that all. I can see it all. So that's what I did.
He got the biggest one possible.
Well, I wanted to be able to see, like 55 inches when you sit, you got to be able to see.
That's the size TV we have in our living room.
Because you got to be able to see.
Yeah. No, I'm all for it. I'm just giving him a hard time.
Look, I don't know why you even in my business. It ain't even coming out your pockets. Anyway.
I'm sorry, who's your biggest supporter again?
Y'all, man. Shout
Who
out
helped
to
you
y'all.
buy
You
your
right.
keyboard?
Thank you. They did. Anyway,
all right.
So as far as what I've been up to, man, just revamping the studio. I'm getting back into the beats.
You've been doing a lot of beat.
I've been doing a lot of work on my own stuff. Like I've been working with a lot of artists for a while, and I appreciate working with them. They provide me with the money to be able to do this. You know what I mean? But I haven't really been searching real heavy for like new clients, just because like I want to have fun doing audio again. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just having fun before I pour myself, like overflow all the work until I'm like super busy like I was last year this time.
Well, yeah. And you I'm sure you will be soon, because I mean tax return season is right
Tax
here.
season, baby.
Yeah.
I'm about to have everybody checks. Guys. I'm about to have everybody checks.
Why are you talking like that?
Because that's my hype voice. That's like my I'm getting money voice.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. So we got a podcast to do, and we got some topics here.
Yeah.
This mic a little bit. So what you want to talk about?
So we're coming into this podcast. There's been things happening with various artists and I guess influencers too can be thrown into that. People who music creators or whatever, but then they do something, whatever that is, that puts like a shadow over their art or their art form and what they do as a profession, right?
Right.
So how do we separate the art from the artist? Because you may not always agree with what that particular artist is doing or the crimes or acts that they may have committed.
Crimes, goddamn.
Well, that's what some of them are. For
Well,
example,
I think all of them is crimes.
For example, R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You know, I was a fan of R. Kelly. Like,
big fan. Yeah.
Straight up. Especially when I was in like middle school and high school. His music was all over the place. Right? But then, like, well, actually, this happened right here in Chicago. All the scandal that he had having sex with 14-year-old girls, which is disgusting. So,
and I don't want to dwell too much on the actual.
So now,
crimes,
right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, well, I don't know about you, but part of me feels kind of like I listen to his music, or like I hear one of his songs, and I'm like, should I be listening to this right now? Because I don't support what this guy did.
So along with that, because this is not just about R. Kelly, and I don't want to frame this as like a R. Kelly
it's not
episode,
just about him. This is about,
because this is about separating the art from the artist, no matter what that art is, right?
Yeah.
So just to throw some examples out there that I'm thinking about like Logan Paul taking pictures in that forest where people notoriously hung themselves, and he captured that whole scenario.
Yeah.
And people were really upset. So how do you separate the art from the artist? Another one, Hot Damn I Rock. I used to watch him on YouTube all the time, but I can remember it came out that he was stealing his jokes from Patrice O'Neal. And I can remember Chad, a lot of his content. Now, he wasn't doing stand-up, but he was taking things from Patrice O'Neal's stand-up and making it a part of his content, or the subject matter of his content.
I got you.
And then using some of the same phrasing to prove his points.
Yeah.
And so I remember Chad was like, I don't watch him no more because he's joke stealing. So it's more of like this ethical thing. The Chris Brown, Rihanna, the recent thing with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like, do we now, let's say somehow, because Amber Heard is in the DC world. She's in the DC world now. She's Aquaman's love interest. I don't remember her character's name.
Shoot.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
But do we not support Aquaman now?
Yeah. Yeah. Or like Kanye West.
Yeah, Kanye done messed up a lot.
I mean,
yikes.
But granted, here's the thing about Kanye West, though. His recent projects, I don't think, have been that great. He may have had some parts of it. Right. And that's what you were telling me,
ain't
too.
No drums. No more.
And coming from somebody that knows music, it's not, and even I'm listening to it, I'm like, this is okay, but it's not great. You know?
But is it not great for you because it doesn't sound good, or because you also don't like what he does? So it's like, well, I also don't like what he does, so, and this isn't that great.
Here's the thing. With him, it's, if you look at it a certain way, he technically didn't do anything morally wrong. He was expressing his freedom of speech by wearing the MAGA hat and supporting, essentially showing support for Donald Trump. Whether it was authentic or not, I think that could be up for debate. But, you know, still his music is like, you know, but he didn't do anything more. Now, in the case of somebody like Chris Brown or R. Kelly or the whole Johnny Depp situation with, I'm blanking on her name now.
Amber Heard.
With Amber Heard, that's something that is without a doubt wrongful actions. Beating women up, hitting a man was what she was doing. I don't know if you guys are aware of what happened, but she was physically hitting Johnny Depp. And that's not right. It doesn't matter if it's coming from a man or a woman.
Yeah, and then said like no one would believe you. It was caught on tape.
Right.
No one was going to believe you anyway, kind of thing.
That's so messed up. And then with R. Kelly, of course, he's taking advantage and assaulting underage girls, which is against the law. You know, all that stuff is against the law. It's assault. It's sexual harassment. It's many, you know, a lot of things roll into that. So where's the line, you know? Or if you want to take it even further, what about the artists that maybe have past where they were dealing drugs or involved in gangs and stuff like that? Where do you draw the line? If you're somebody that's like, oh, they were doing something wrong, so now I'm not going to support them anymore. But I don't think it's so black and white, is what I'm trying to say. I think there's a gray area.
So you just asked 30 more questions and didn't answer nothing. That's great. So to focus this conversation then, you brought up a lot of things. So I'm trying to keep you on track here.
Okay.
Because she got a tendency to do this. You went from Kanye West to Amber Heard to dealing drugs. I feel like those are very different things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Kanye West.
Yep.
And again, this is not about crimes. That's why I said I don't think it's about crimes. It's just what you do, your actions, right? And how it reflects on your art.
Yeah.
So for me, I will say this. Kanye West albums haven't been the worst thing I've ever heard in my life, but because of his opinions, since it's not that good anyway, I'm just not going to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like what he's doing from a as an influencer, as a leader, and using his voice. I don't really like what he's doing. And on top of that, the music isn't that great. It's not going to listen to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you get things like moving to the Amber Heard situation, where what she did is horrendous. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But the movie's amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like, this is, some of y'all might not like Aquaman. I thought it was pretty dope. Like,
I liked it.
That was pretty good. I was like, this is all right.
There were parts that were cheesy, but I still liked it.
But now you like Aquaman, right?
Yeah.
So now you have this thing where, do you be a social justice warrior, right? And boycott it. The same thing as the NFL. Boycott it and not watch it and miss out on it. Or do you watch it? For you, what do you do? In the Amber Heard situation, what do you do?
Well, given that I already watched it before I found out about this, but I think that
moving forward,
okay,
what do you do?
Moving forward. So if I was to discover that maybe she did this in like her future movies, whatever. People do make mistakes. And I think there's a lot that goes into those mistakes that they make, especially when it comes to like abusive relationships. I think she needs to seek proper help. And if she goes that route, I think there's a point where I could be like, okay, I say it didn't happen to me though. So it's like I could forgive what she did and still go see the movies and stuff. But for all we know, if they make another Aquaman, maybe they'll cut her out. Maybe they'll get rid of her.
So that's what I was going to say. For me, it's up to the employer to decide to do with the employee, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be conversations behind closed doors, and we're not privy to those.
Yeah.
And there might be some ramifications where, hey, man, if you want to continue to be this, we got to see that you're cleaning up your act. But along with that comes an apology tour. Like Kevin Hart, you got to do that apology tour.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think for me, I can support the art if you apologize, right, in a way that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is seen that you're not doing it again, right?
Yeah.
For us, watching R. Kelly, for example, was acquitted in court. I don't know if he officially apologized or not. That was a long time ago. I can't remember.
Well, do you recall the interview he did? Who was it with? I could look it up. Where he went like crazy and like started crying and everything, and
that was after he had been accused.
That was after the accusal. Yeah,
I'm talking about before that. So after the first time he does it, right? He says it's not him. We say, okay, you good. But then it comes out that you're doing the same thing again. Like, now I can't forgive you. I think for me, it's not a one and done thing. In this social justice era, it's all
and cancel culture.
It's one and done.
Yeah.
Oh, you made a remark that wasn't okay. F you. I'm not supporting your stuff no more. Like, this is like, you're not allowed to make mistakes. Like, I'm aware that people are allowed to make mistakes. I'm going to give someone a chance to at least fix it. And then I'm also, in combination with that, going to rely upon the employer to not put that person in the things that we see. Because I want to watch the next Aquaman. And I'm probably going to watch it whether she's in it or not. Now, under my breath, I might be cursing her out. You know what I'm saying? And saying some things, you know what I'm saying, under my breath.
Yeah.
But I want to support the film because Amber Heard is one person in that film.
Yeah.
You got a videographer. You got an audio guy. You got all of these people, camera guys, producers, other actors.
Everybody, all people that are getting paid off of that film and then need that money.
It's the same thing with the NFL. You want to boycott the NFL, but there's people behind the scenes whose job it is to make this happen.
Right.
And they might be on your side.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. That whole shit happened. I was like, first of all, people were boycotting the NFL that were on either end of the debate with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. And to me, it's like, okay, you're going to boycott the NFL because people are kneeling. And then you got on the other end, you got people who are boycotting the NFL because they don't support Colin Kaepernick. And then you got all these players that get paychecks and that need that support, need that money. Like, I personally didn't stop supporting the NFL. My personal beliefs about what happened aside, I thought it was stupid. Like, it's a freaking football game.
You did stop watching it for a while.
Well, the only reason I stopped watching it was because we didn't have cable.
Yeah, it's easy to boycott when you ain't got no cable. Hey, yo, man, I'm boycotting, dog.
Yeah.
This whole Netflix thing is whack. I'm boycotting Netflix. Do you have an account? Nah, I ain't got one.
Yeah. But no, you brought up a good point, though. Like, with the whole, okay, so for like Chris Brown, for example, for as far as we know, it was only a one-time thing.
He's had other allegations of doing other things to other people, but it's either been, some of it has seemed a little flagrant in the sense that people are using that. They know that stuff happened between him and Rihanna, so I'm just going to use that
to
kind of get you to get away from me kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
or I'm salty about you because you maybe cheated on me, so I'm going to make it seem like you whooped my ass because everybody's going to believe it. So that's another one of those things where the woman could be, because there was, and I can't think of it now, but there was a couple cases where it's like,
So, I mean, well, it's like Chris Brown's latest album, which you sent over to me as soon as it came out. And I was a Chris Brown fan, especially in college. Like, and his new album is good. Like, I really like it. He looks a little crazy now, but that's besides the point.
He look a little nuts.
A little,
but that's something else. Maybe he need to hit up for Thundercakes and like get some of your magic bars.
Maybe.
Did you let them know that the magic bars don't have weed in it? Because when you call stuff like magic,
I know, and that's what I first thought when I first found the recipe. Shout out to Real Food with Jessica, because she was the one that listed the recipe. If you're interested in like all natural food and making things from, using natural products, then go follow her. She does fantastic stuff. A lot of paleo and whole 30 friendly dishes. Desserts and main dishes, side dishes, whatever. But I did, what was funny is because I was doing an Instagram story the day that I was making them. And then I was talking in the phone. I was like, oh, I'm making paleo magic cookie bars. And then I said, when you hear the word magic, you're probably thinking of something else, but that's not what's in them. So like weed is legal here in Illinois now, but it's not like I'm baking with it.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's a whole nother story. The taxes on that stuff is crazy.
Man, they made so much money in the first day of it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
People were lined up.
But somebody took a picture of the receipt that they had. So they got like $60 worth of weed or $100 worth of weed. And then by the time the taxes was done, it was $160 when they rang out.
I'd have to look up the percentages and what they're taxing.
It's nasty.
It is going to be high. Well, it's because the freaking FDA and their influence on the whatever. Conspiracy theories, guys.
We ain't even talking about
No, we're not even talking about that.
That's not what we here for.
Anyways, but what it might do is it will make the state some money, and that money hopefully will be put to good use. But y'all know you can't trust the government. Anyways, but back on to the point we were talking about Chris Brown.
Let's move away from Chris Brown, because that was such a long time ago. It's a good example, but that was a long time ago, and I don't think you can hold that above his head. I think he was in his teens still, or early 20s when that happened, and dude's probably in his 30s now. So
I don't know.
It's whatever, man. Well, it's not that it's whatever. It's I don't want to keep dwelling on it. That's something from our childhood.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you, in this era of social justice, like how have you been faring in this world of social justice? Because like I feel like people get a lot more sensitive now, and even you came to me a couple times with some of the things that have been happening on your page.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You hashtag something vegan and then explain in the post that, we use meat, but if you take the meat out, you can make this hashtag vegan. This is if you want a vegan-friendly meal, the cheese sauce is vegan, potatoes, of course, are vegan, just take the ham out.
Yeah.
And people will comment like, bruh, if this got ham in it, why you hashtagging it vegan? And it's like, because you fall victim to this sensitivity. You feel like you're too sensitive?
Here's what I found of it, because I'm a pretty moderate person. So, and there are some things that I am passionate about, of course. And then, and what I'm doing and the type of message that I'm trying to send with my brand and, my Instagram page is I embrace all types of nutritional styles. Like, I'm not against any of them. And, and unfortunately, especially with those who are vegan and those who are not vegan, it's like a a political and cultural divide. It's really stupid. People will get really, really upset over you. And the post that you were thinking of, I had made, because Corey and I are lactose intolerant, so we do a lot of dairy-free cooking. And I had made some vegan mac and cheese, and we had it for breakfast one morning, I think with like bacon or something. I don't know what we had. And of course, the bacon.
Oh, the bacon and asparagus.
Yeah, and the bacon was in the shot. And I hashtag vegan and specifically explained on there that the mac and cheese was vegan. And somebody commented it. And I don't even have that many followers yet. And somebody commented, why are you hashtagging vegan or tagging vegan when it's not, when you have bacon in the picture? Like, look, everybody needs to stop being so sensitive about stuff like that. Like, and it's just, read the post. And, and this happens across the board when you have two polarizing opinions with people. People will just be overly sensitive about what's going on the other end versus what they're doing and get super defensive and this and that, well, this is not perfect, so it's not good enough. And it's like, just chill out. It's okay. You have your opinion and your choice and what you make, and this is what we're doing. And if anything, going back to that, if you are someone who is vegan, think about this for a second. If someone who is omnivorous is including a vegan dish.
Omnivorous?
Omnivore, or is an omnivore, eats both plants, animals.
How you say that word, though?
Whatever. Omnivorous?
It's omnivorous?
Is that a word?
I don't think.
Omnivores. Whatever, you get the fucking point. If you see someone who is making more vegan-friendly dishes or whatever, applaud them. Doing the opposite, if they're pairing meat with it or something and saying, oh, well, that's not vegan. That's not good enough. It's not perfect. You should not be eating the meat. That ain't going to help anybody. That's not going to help get your message across.
So your beef in that particular situation was the demand for perfection. So do you feel like because I feel like, I'll go ahead and say, I feel like the issue is the demand for perfection. It's like whatever the issue may be. If you're supposed to be an artist making music, if you're supposed to be a YouTuber doing this, like everything you have to do is perfect, right? Mm-hmm. Now, some stuff is unforgivable. Like when PewDiePie used the N-word, like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah. Some of that stuff, like, that's not asking much. I'm not asking much of you.
And you bring up a good point, too, because it's like that perfection, right? And this is the other thing that gets me, like with the Kevin Hart stuff about when he made comments about his son. You remember that? And that was an old tweet. And people brought it up from his past. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's fair to judge someone based on their past actions because you learn, you grow, you figure things out. Like, I know growing up in West Michigan and Grand Rapids, I wasn't exposed to a lot of stuff. If social media had been around, I might have been saying some crazy shit, Fortunately, it wasn't. But after living in Los Angeles, living in Miami, living in Chicago, I have learned a lot and understood, like, I don't want to say tolerance, but just more of an open mind and embracing different things, And I'm not the person I was in the past, so we shouldn't be judging people based on their actions from the past. I mean, if they're still doing that stuff, yeah, absolutely, 100%. They're still doing shit that they did before that's not good things, then that's a problem. But people change.
People do change. So I feel like it's unfair to ask anyone to be perfect. Yeah. I don't think anyone's perfect. Granted, some of these things, like I was saying, some of these things you're not asking much. So we got to be able to separate, like, is the world really asking too much of this person to not do X, Y, Z, or is it okay?
Give an example of something that would be, like, when you say X, Y, Z, like.
Somebody who was, like, killed for something that actually wasn't that bad. Oh, man. You brought up the Kevin Hart thing. I thought that was a good example. A lot of the times with people chasing down these old tweets, I feel like that's when you start getting into trouble. Because lot of times with a lot of these young stars, you're chasing stuff back to when they were in high school, and that person's like late 20s now,
Yeah.
late mid 20s, and you're like, well, when you were 16, you said this, and it's like, that sounds like a 16-year-old
Yeah.
being a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Like you can't expect them to have the knowledge to know what's right and wrong.
yeah,
They're still learning, but they have to make mistakes though too. So
yeah, people make mistakes.
yeah.
My thing was when I was growing up, I'm a weirdo like that. Like, I used to not drink and to watch what I say because I wanted to make sure that my slate was clean. That's how I used to think. But I'm also an INTJ, a perfectionist, and a lot of other things to where that makes sense for me. There's a lot of people just wanted to experiment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't smoke weed, nor have I ever done edibles, anything like that. Because to me, like, I didn't know what kind of backlash that would have. Like, even if I just tried it, it's still in your system. Like, I knew all of that stuff, so I never did it. But that's just me.
Yeah.
If I was voting, let's say, like, and I think maybe this came up with Barack Obama, like, you voting for the president, like, well, he used to smoke weed. So I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, he was a young dude smoking some weed, even if he's smoking weed now. And maybe weed's a bad example because I don't really care about it. But, like, I'm not going to judge somebody off of that. And then the standards for things change, right? So using that weed example, like, when weed was still viewed as bad, I didn't care. He was younger. But then look now, it's being
people
legalized.
were stretching to find things about him because
that's what I mean.
In the grand scheme of things, President Obama conducted him in a very professional and morally right kind of you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
like
get that.
him and his entire family for the most part. So what then happens, especially with somebody who is so influential and the leader of the freaking country, this happens all the time with every single president. And with somebody who conducted himself the way that he did, people are going to dig and dig and dig and dig and find the smallest little thing to discredit their character, which it's funny to me because most people, especially nowadays, and he was elected first in 2008, right? And then again in 2012.
Yep.
Even back in 2008, if I would have heard that he was smoking weed, I would have been like, okay.
Like,
it's
we
just
wouldn't have
weed.
cared. But even you would have known, like,
Oh.
dog is going crazy.
Yeah, she's oh.
Gator! Shut up!
Hey. Hey, it's okay, baby.
Still growling.
She protecting the house. Anyways, what were you saying?
So even in 2008, knowing what you know, then you would have said to yourself, like, yes, I don't care about weed, but dang, they got him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they got him.
Yeah. But then on the flip side, if you want to go the other extreme and compare it to the stuff that Trump has done, and for some reason people, I don't want to get too political, but people think that, oh, he's just being outspoken and stuff like that. But he's done and said some really messed up stuff.
Times are different. We're getting looser and looser as we go. Like, so what we're accepting is okay is going further and further.
I don't know. You know, I don't. Well, it depends on how you look at it, I guess. And it is a personal, the side of personal opinion comes into that fact and that play. So it's, yeah. But to me, things are more extreme. So
we thought we had them, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Clearly we didn't. Let me check this camera real quick.
Yeah. Something to feed. Is it still rolling?
Your dog started barking finally, thank God. But yeah. So, I guess with this, to wrap up this whole conversation of separating the art and the artist, I don't think we should be as harsh on some of these people. I think we got to start really analyzing exactly what they've done, and then analyze yourself. and what you done. A lot of us don't have no room to judge anything.
It's true.
So no matter what it may be. So I think that's important too. But that's my final thoughts. Do you have final thoughts?
I think I would agree, but I also do think that it depends on what happened or what that particular person did. I think would kind of determine how I'd feel about it, honestly. In the case, I guess the biggest example for me would be in R. Kelly's case, because it was something that he ran a freaking house of women, and
let's not get into it.
That is something that I couldn't find to be forgivable.
Just wrap up thoughts.
But
let's not get into it.
For one single instance, and then that whatever was done, and then the person showed that they are making a conscious effort to try to improve themselves and become a better person, and that they recognize what they did was wrong and they're making a change. I applaud them. I will support you, but if you fuck up again, I'm out.
And I'm hoping and I'm guessing that that's all depending on the severity of the first act.
It depends on the severity of the first act. Yes. If we're looking at like killing people and stuff like that, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that's okay, you killed somebody, but I'm still going to support what you did. No.
I mean, OJ still got fans.
That is, man, all those documentaries are wild. The 90s were crazy.
Wild time. Cool.
It was.
Just on some randomness. So you got this Fit Thunder Cakes. So make sure you guys check out Fit Thunder Cakes
on Instagram and Twitter.
Fit Thunder Bake.
There you go.
All right. So Fit Thunder Cakes. That's your Instagram. You don't have a Facebook yet. Just follow on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter is where I'm at. Fit Thunder Cakes, and then my website is Fit Thunder Cakes. I'm sorry. ThunderStrengthFitness.com is my website. If you guys want to go check it out. I do nutritional counseling, obviously workouts, anything health and wellness related. That's what I'm here for.
Thunder Strength Fitness. So they can go to your website, get some training, get some nutritional advice. That's really dope because I need that. So I'm gonna go there. And you said you was currently looking for a graphic designer? Is that what you're looking for?
Which I think I might have something in the works, but if I have any friends out there, because I'd rather give my money to someone that I know and who is a friend, and friends pay full price, first of all. So don't worry, I'm not gonna be asking for any discounts or anything like that, because I know I appreciate it when I have friends that support me, and I would like to support someone else out there. So got some ideas in mind. I just need to figure out how to put it into plan, because I'm not a quote unquote artist. I'm nerdy about a lot of things, but I'm not like a left brain kind of person.
So if you do graphic design, hit her up. As for me, you know what it is. CoolNerdProductions.com. That's cool with a K. KOOLNERD Productions.com for all of your mixing and mastering needs. I mean,
you really should be a voice actor.
Nah, cuz.
You should.
So, CoolNerdProductions.com. No matter what it is, if you got a podcast that you need help with, if you have an audio book, if you have an album and you think you can rap, but you need a little engineering done, that's all me. Hit me up. Mixing, mastering of all types of audio. Just let me know. And then if you guys want to follow me, Instagram, KOOL_NERD. Same thing on Twitter, Facebook, Cool Nerd Productions. And then make sure you follow Game from the Gamers, GFTG Podcast.
Yeah.
Everywhere. GFTG Podcast. And this is brought to you by GFTG Podcast. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again
I'm out.
with some more topics.
I'm out.
But leave a comment below if you think Corey should get into voice acting, because I think he should.